It is part 2 in a series of having the best year of our lives. If that's something that you're wanting, then you're in the right place. In the first part, I shared some frameworks that I found really helpful in drafting my vision. So today we're going to take what we did with our vision and create a plan that we can put into practice for this next year. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Annette Fuentes, or Annette Smiles, and it's Christmas Eve day, which means tomorrow's my birthday, but it also means that I have been in this reflective kind of planning mode, and I'm excited to bring you along for the ride. I will be going through a workbook that I created for myself. If you're interested in following along, there is a link in the description that you can download. I will also make sure to share all of the information necessary for you to do this on your own. The method to my madness is starting by looking at my calendar for the year, figuring out how it aligns with the vision work that I did in the first part, and then breaking that down into actionable steps. The last part that we'll go into a little bit is how to do some time blocking. This is all in preparation for part 3, which is putting it into practice. Without further ado, let's jump into drafting your plan. We're gonna start by creating a calendar of all the important dates that already exist on your calendar. This is what the calendar looks like in the workbook, and this is what it looks like after I added all of my important dates. Now, I know these colors mean absolutely nothing to you, but to me, they are indicators of birthdays, events, vacations, trainings, programs that I'm running. They're important dates to me that I can now visualize what the breakdown of the year is. I'm gonna use this to now plan when I want my 12 weeks of the 12-week year to happen. 12-week year is a book that I listen to most of, and I am implementing some of the ideas from this book. I want to preface with, I am not following this book 100%. I just found a lot of methods in this book to be helpful, so I am applying them in a way that makes sense to me. The reason I like the 12-week year is that it talks about how if we set goals for the next year, December seems really far away, so we feel like we have all of this time to kind of dilly-dally and do the things that we want. Whereas if instead we broke it down into 12-week quarters, then in 12 weeks, we can really focus on milestones that we're wanting to achieve and create a plan to make it happen. Now, there are 52 weeks in the year, and 12 times 4 is 48. So that means that I have 4 weeks kind of off that I want to plan around. Now, again, I don't know if this is how the book talks about it, but this is how I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to use my calendar and decide what dates I want to start and end my 12 weeks on. For example, the first week of January, I know I'm traveling, so I know I'm not gonna start that week. So I'm going to write each week all the way to number 12. I already kind of outlined what my 12 weeks are, so I have a break at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the year, but you're gonna outline your 12 weeks, whatever makes the most sense to you. Now for the fun part, we're going to use your vision to create a plan that makes sense for you. This portion is a little bit more technical, but I promise you it is the most helpful thing that I have learned when it comes to achieving what I want. Part of the challenge is our visions and our ideas are so big that we don't have action steps that we can implement to make them happen. So we're going to change that. We're going to use our vision to outline our milestones and our activities. I'm going to use one of my visions as an example. My vision for this channel is to positively impact the lives of thousands of people in improving their lives and living their fullest, most authentic selves and getting paid to do it, because if I get paid to do it, I can do it more and I can help more people and all of that good stuff. In order for me to achieve this wild, beautiful vision, there are milestones that I can outline for myself that are indicators if I am living this vision. Some of those milestones might be reaching 10,000 subscribers, gaining paid partnerships, or monetizing my channel. Those for me are all indicators that I am on my way to and currently achieving what I set out to with this vision. Another way to think of these milestones that you may have heard of is thinking about SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. These are things that I can check a box or write a date to say when I achieved those things. From those milestones, the most important part here is choosing activities that are going to lead me to my milestones. This is the nitty-gritty. This is what can I do every week in order to get closer to my goal. These consistent activities might be posting 2 videos a week, promoting my videos on other channels, posting shorts every day, scheduling 4 guest episodes. The reason this is life-changing, activities that we outline, we can check the box and find out if we're on track. Milestones are us taking a look at, did I achieve what I wanted to? These 2 kinds of measurement are just a way for us to check in and be honest with ourselves if we're doing everything possible in order to live the life that we want to do. Taking a look at the visions that we created in the first part and using that to map out for the whole year milestones for each of those parts of the vision that we want to achieve. I'd say 3 to 5 milestones for each quarter, and break down those milestones into some of the activities that you need to do in order to make them happen. We can't do everything all the time, but if we break it down into the 4 quarters, we can have different focuses and feel really good about the progress that we're making. If the 12-week year thing doesn't really make sense, there's also a page where it's just broken down by month, and you can choose 2 or 3 milestones for every month, and then the activities that you need to do in order to accomplish it. The last tool in the planning process that I wanted to share that I find really helpful is something I call a time audit, which I do every quarter just to see where I'm spending my time and where I'm wanting to spend my time. This is what mine looks like. It's kind of wild and very specific, but something to keep in mind is how much time we're actually spending doing something when we're creating our schedule. So if I'm working 8 hours a day, I'm going to also include how much time does it take me to drive there? How much time does it take me to get ready? So in my calendar, it might actually say 10 hours for work. Once I have everything in my calendar, I write out how much my time I have outside of that. Then I make a list for myself of all the things that I want to do that I always say I don't have time for, so that I can start being intentional with how I spend my time outside of those scheduled activities. Whew. That is it for the planning process. This is really about writing things down so that then we can create a practice on how to execute it. Truth is, we only do the things that we commit ourselves to. We're also more likely to do them when we share it with others. So I highly encourage you to have conversations, go through this workbook with friends, and make time to assess and reassess when your plan makes sense. The next video, we're going to talk about how to actually put these things into practice. In the description, you will find the link to my calendar for any workshops that I have coming up. Every quarter, we do the Vision Mastermind, which is the 8 weeks of weekly check-ins to do some of this work together. But I'll also be doing kind of some one-off workshops that could be helpful for your vision planning process. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for spending this time on yourself. And I look forward to talking about how to put our plans into practice in the next video.